Yeah.
It's mine.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I love it.
Anybody
You've been doing a
can
good
do
job
anything they want.
photographing.
Anyone can do anything they want
Right.
with it.
Right. Yep.
It's my image. Do whatever you want.
Yep. So have you been standing out?
Yes, I have.
did? Good girl.
I
Where?
do. I live over in Alston, and I stand out on
we
the
talked about
Mass
it. So I'm here with my pink on, and I'm beyond the buffer zone because I don't have anything on my shirt that says Free Karen Reed. I have a shirt underneath, but I wanted to be able to walk around a little bit, and so this is the buffer zone after the policeman's yellow jacket. And the policemen are so nice. They're so nice. They just have rules they have to go by, and that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but we're fighting it. And lots of traffic, helicopters. This is the first day of Karen's trial, and that's about it. So I might do a couple interviews. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but there you go. Free Karen Reed.
Or any citizen should be put through this. This is wrong. And we need to stand for justice, and we need to fix what's broken in our municipal processes. This is wrong. It never should have happened. And we need to fix it. It wouldn't happen in the private sector. It should not happen in the public sector. The public sector runs this country. We should not have breaks in the process like we do that allowed this to happen. Oh, thank you.
Jurors, hearken to these indictments. 2282 CR 117001.
Jay, do you want to start the package load? Thank you.
The assault will be John O'Keefe with attempted murder such person.
Court
By
has
such assault,
started,
you kill or
and
murder said John
listening to it on
O'Keefe.
the
Guilty of murder in the second degree and not in the first degree in violation of General Law, Chapter 265, Section 1. 002. Karen Reed, Mansfield, County of Bristol, on or about January.
Decide the series based on the evidence and the law instead of upon as you listen to the testimony about the people involved in this case, consider them as individuals, not leaders of a particular group. Finally, I might ask myself, would I view the evidence differently if the people were from different groups, such as different racial, ethnic, groups? At the end of the case, I will remind you of these strategies and ask you to focus on the evidence instead of any unsupported assumptions you may have. All we ask is that you, individually and as a group, do your best to resolve this case based upon the evidence and the law without sympathy, bias, or prejudice to the best of your abilities. Now, when I finish with these initial instructions, Mr. Lamb will make his opening statement. Ms. Kennedy can choose to make an opening statement or not, because the defendant has no burden of proof and doesn't have to prove anything. Her lawyer doesn't even need to make an opening statement. An opening statement is a summary of what the lawyer expects the evidence of trial will be. Efficient manner. It's also my function to decide any questions of law that come up during the trial and to instruct you about the law that applies to this case. It is your duty to accept the law as I stated to you, whether you agree with it or not.
We are full of love and
the jury's function. You folks are the most important people in this courtroom.
We're where we need to be.
You determine the facts of this case. You are the sole and exclusive judges of the facts. You alone determine what evidence to believe, how important any evidence is that you do believe, and what conclusions all the believable evidence leads you to. You will have to consider and weigh the testimony of all the witnesses who will appear before you, and you alone will determine whether to believe any witness and the extent to which you believe any witness. You can believe all of what a witness says, some of it, or none of it. It's entirely up to you. It is part of your responsibility to resolve any conflicts in the testimony that may arise during the course of the trial and to determine where the truth lies. Ultimately, you must determine whether or not the Commonwealth has proved the charges others beyond a reasonable doubt.
We're about truth, and we need to
The
stop
lawyers have
gaslighting
their own
this country.
important role in this trial.
Final question.
They
Give me
are,
your
of
name
course,
and spell.
advocates. Their job is to bring to your attention the evidence and arguments that best support their position. They may also object to evidence offered by the other side that may not be admissible.
Don't take a picture of me near that.
No. What do you think? Dina. There we go. Good girl.
13, Kristen, unfortunately, tragically, passed away, succumbing to in my honor to represent Karen Reed during this trial.
Yes! The dream team.
From a very early juncture in this case, you will question the Commonwealth's theory of the case. You will question the quality of the Commonwealth's evidence. You will question the veracity of the Commonwealth's witnesses. And you will question their shocking, biased investigation, a faulty investigation that led to Karen Reed sitting here today. You will learn, in short, that the police did no real investigation of this case, and you will question why. You'll question why the investigators had such tunnel vision. You'll question why they focused solely on Karen Reed, someone with no ties to the Canton Police Department, as opposed to the well-known and well-connected Albert family of Canton, a family that was never treated as suspects by the investigators in this case. Boston police officer John O'Keefe was found mortally injured on Brian Albert's front lawn. His body was in full view and almost right below Brian Albert's bedroom window on his front lawn.
Phil.
He's found wearing only one sneaker. You'll learn that Brian Albert was a Boston police officer as well, and that he was a trained first responder. Brian Albert was notified that another police officer was injured and unresponsive on his front lawn, and Brian Albert exactly that way members of the Albert family. That's the man who was chosen to lead the investigation hands of the defense in this case. Lead investigator Trooper Michael Proctor, right from the start, called Karen Reed names he would reserve only for your worst enemies. He told his friends that he hoped that she would kill herself.
He said what?
He told his friends that he had seized her cell phone. And you will learn that he knew he shouldn't have been accessing any content on her cell phone because he knew there would likely be attorney-client communications on between Karen and me at that time. He knew that he was supposed to wait for a search warrant or other permission from a judge in order to go through that phone. But you'll learn that he went through the phone anyway. You'll learn that one of Michael Proctor's high school friends commented to him that with a dead body on the front lawn, the homeowner in this case is surely going to catch a lot of grief. And you know what Michael Proctor's response to that was? One word. Nope.
I knew it was no. I knew it was
And he
no.
explained why. Michael Proctor assured his buddies that the homeowner would not catch a lot of grief because, quote, the homeowner's a Boston cop too. End quote. That one kept going back to the Albert residence after that day, and he claims to have kept finding pieces of taillight on multiple occasions on multiple different days.
Outrageous.
And in addition, a good week after John O'Keefe's death,
Disgraceful.
Canton Police Chief Kenneth Berkowitz, an older officer on the brink of retirement, but probably not the best eyesight. Paul McCusker talked to the same supervisor at the DPW, a man named Michael Trotter, who Proctor claimed had told him that the street hadn't been plowed that night. You'll learn that Paul McCuskey found out that Michael Proctor was not telling the truth. And you'll learn that Chloe had been the beloved family dog for the Alberts for 7 years.
Two times for this ambulance come through.
Strangely, as we discuss this dog today, the Albert family doesn't have its beloved Chloe anymore. You learn that Brian Albert was called to testify before the grand jury regarding this matter in April of 2022. And that he testified about his German Shepherd Chloe during that grand jury testimony. And you'll learn that not long after that testimony, Brian Albert and his family rehomed their beloved family dog. They gave away their family dog. And Chloe, the German Shepherd, is therefore now gone.
He's dumping a lot of info.
Now,
In the true sense of the word.
Commonwealth will try to take your attention away from all of these troubling facts and try to persuade you not to consider their shocking lack of investigation of anyone else, not to consider John O'Keefe's injuries, not to consider the fact that multiple people left the residence and saw no body, not to consider the fact that the snowplow driver was specific.
So, I'm all done. I left all the movement. We watched the opening statements and I'm gonna go home, go back to work. So please pray for Karen and her family. This is just devastating because she's totally innocent. All right, peace.